Hey Libra, Intuitive Soul Coach here with your September 2024 bonus reading. Welcome back to my channel if you're returning, and welcome if you're new. If you're interested in a personal reading, signing up for the monthly newsletter, or entering into the free reading giveaway, you can find all of that information in the description box below the video. All right, Libra, we're going to take a look at what is being illuminated on your path, partially due to the upcoming eclipse season. An eclipse season can bring about massive change, transformation, and metamorphosis. So we'll take a look at how this illumination is opening you up to a new chapter of your life. We'll look at your values, initiative, and blockages, and then we'll connect here to an outcome. So what I am getting here for you right away is I feel like there may have been or there may be a hard pill to swallow. So perhaps for some of you, and as I say that, we actually have the devil at the bottom of the deck here. So it could be some sort of news that you hear that's difficult, right? Or it could be that you are speaking up about a situation and someone doesn't like what they hear. It could be hard for them to hear. So we'll see how communication plays out in your reading. Now, bottom of the deck, we do have the devil. When the devil shows up here, this is about releasing yourself from bondage, something that you have been tethered to, Libra, that hasn't necessarily been healthy. This could be obsessions, manipulation, codependency, materialism, and certain things that drive you to fight or flight in some way, shape, or form. So perhaps numbing a situation by not talking about it, being a people pleaser, a perfectionist, or even enabling some sort of behavior. Now, the devil is showing up here because there may be a tendency to revert back to some sort of coping mechanism is what I'm picking up on, a coping mechanism due to some changes or transformations that show up for you. This could be a trigger, and maybe the trigger is, perfectionism, or causing you to doubt yourself, or to bring about insecurities in some way, shape, or form. But the key to withholding, not so much withholding, but the key to keeping this energy maintained or at bay is temperance. You have the temperance right behind it. So not only do we have the Queen of Hearts representing the devil, but we have Aunt M, right? Aunt M showing up here in the temperance. And if you are familiar with the Wizard of Oz, Auntie M is patient. She's kind and compassionate, and she waits for, her garden to grow. She's also protected. And I feel the temperance energy is also about tender love and care, right? So maintaining a level of taking care of yourself, Libra, and doing what you need to do to give yourself a little bit of that TLC. I'm also sensing with the temperance, this can be self-control and moderating, needing to moderate so things don't get out of hand or out of control in some way, shape, or form. Okay, so I see that there's definitely transformation taking place here, but let's look at what is being illuminated. There's the news. There's the Page of Pentacles represented by Toto, right? And Toto, he comes along. He is speaking. There's something about speaking. It's almost as if the bark, right? The bark is, or what do they say? The bark is louder than the bite. Yeah, the bark is louder than the bite. So I feel like there could be some sort of message or communication that is loud, but when it comes down to it, you have what it takes to initiate some sort of boundary or change or new chapter of your life. We're going to look at the new chapter. There's the witch, beautiful energy. This is Dorothy. Now, the witch in this deck is actually major arcana number 25. And there's only 21 major arcanas, but the creator of this wonderful deck, it's become one of my new favorites. It's in the description box below. It's a blend of Alice in Wonderland and The Wizard of Oz, which were my two favorites growing up. So it does make the perfect deck here for me to read. But the Witch is card 25, and this represents Dorothy. This is showing up as the new chapter of your life. This is transformation. This is protection. It is a powerful, powerful force within you, Libra. And the message here is not to doubt your beautiful self. Now, some of you, this devil that I see at the bottom of the deck could be external validation. It could be seeking or needing external validation for your self-worth. And I feel like this new chapter that you are embarking upon is saying, wait a second, I don't care what other people think, right? Or I don't need to be a certain way, or a perfectionist, or I don't need to people please or keep the peace, right? Because we Librans, I'm a Libra as well, sometimes we want to keep the peace by not stirring the pot a little bit. But I feel like you are someone who, you're able to temper and balance the energies of justice. You are the embodiment of justice here. So I do feel the Witch is very significant. So I'm excited to talk about that here in a moment, but let's keep going with your initiative. We have the initiative is the Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords is to not lie to yourself, right? And to not put up with other people's lies or dishonesty. But because this is showing up as your initiative, I do feel like the Seven of Swords is fear that stems from, or dishonesty that may stem from a desired outcome. So for example, we may have a specific outcome that we really want to achieve. And there's fear that's the motivational drive behind a situation. And that could be the devil. So there's some sort of fear that is driving it, but it's not our truth. It's not, based on authenticity, or it's not based on the heart. It's based on the fear, and it's not being fully honest with oneself. So let's back it up here a moment and take a look at what is truly being illuminated for you. We have the Page of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles is someone who's hardworking. He invests in himself. This is someone who is not afraid to learn new skills. I'm also getting with this Page of Pentacles, you're very goal-oriented, Libra. You're very practical. You're down to earth. You are open to discovery, open to learning, and you go down the path of what you're curious about, right? Your curiosities lead you towards discovery. And I feel like you are someone who, you want to learn, you want to grow. You realize that you have unlimited potential, and the more you know, the better off you are. And so when this Page of Pentacles shows up, I feel like you've been reflecting on your commitments. You may even consider additional education or a new path, but there's also a double message coming in here with the Seven of Swords. This is about staying loyal and staying true to your path. And for some of you, because of self-doubt, because of insecurities, because of maybe that external validation, you may have veered away from your path in some way, shape, or form, or it may have delayed some form of gratification. Okay. And so the very thing that you're wanting most at times is pushed away. And we're going to take a look at the block. And I see here that there is definitely some form of a block. Oh yeah, that's what it is here. We have the Ten of Swords as a block. So some endings that you may still be hanging on to, Libra, could be potentially blocking that gratification. But I do see here that you're coming to a very, very powerful point of your journey. So Page of Pentacles could also represent news, messages, or communication around money. This could be around your investments, where you invest your time. This may have to do with a financial win, right? There could be some sort of financial, abundance coming in that's illuminated to you. And I see that this has to do with enlightenment when it comes to your ability to make and create money. So even though these are bonus readings, we're going to look at all different areas, but I feel like this has to do with either money, materialism of some sort, or you finding balance between the spiritual and the material realm and being able to be successful and loyal to what you love at the same time. And this could be relationships as well, where you are showing up all of you and you're being authentic and you're being true and you're not dimming parts of yourself in order to be liked, in order to be loved, or in order to fit in. So we're going to clarify here in a little bit what this could be, but let's keep going here. So the new chapter is, again, Major Arcana 25, which is the witch. Now, the witch is magic, right? She's witchy. She is someone who is transformative. She is all about balance and wisdom. I mean, this is Dorothy going on that journey and discovering bits and parts of herself. Remember the lion, the courage within her, the Tin Man and the Scarecrow. It's using her logic, using her heart, and using it, her courage to bravely move forward towards the path of, of Emerald City. And I feel whatever your goals are, whatever inspires you, it's as if you are discovering who you are along the way, Libra. And the Witch card says you have skills, you have gifts. I mean, you have gifts. This is a very gifted energy when the witch shows up, but you're protected. And for some of you, there has been a situation that you felt robbed you of your gifts, or it may have scared you. So I'm just going to give you an example. As a very young girl, I've had these gifts from as long as I can remember, where I seen things that other people couldn't. And, I knew things that, I probably, other people didn't know. And I remember seeing a few things that really scared the heck out of me as a young girl. And I remember saying, even at that young age, Spirit, if, I know that I'm a little different, but I don't want to see those scary, scary things. Show it to me in a different way, or, be able to help me face the fears if this is what I meant to do. And I know that sounds very mature, but I had to grow up really early. And for some of you, it may have been, at a young age, or it could have been, in your earlier, memories of life or young adulthood, where there may have been a situation where you felt like you were cast aside or you were ridiculed. Some of you may have even been, I'm going to go out there here, not go out because it's part of my beliefs. And I feel if you're here, you probably believe in past lives as well. But some of you were hung, or you were a witch in a past life, or you worked with, herbs, or, healing others in some way, shape, or form. And it's not a bad thing, but you were ostracized because of it. Or this is something in this lifetime that you had, you have special gifts, but you felt like you had to dim them back or hold back your light in some way because you would outshine. And maybe you didn't want that attention, or something scared you, or you felt like it wouldn't be accepted, or it would be admonished in some way. So when you have the witch showing up on this new chapter, this is a massive metamorphosis, Libra, about you really stepping into your power. I also see here that you have this inner light about you, and people may have even said that to you, Libra, that you have this inner glow, this inner light. And the message here is it's time to shine. No more holding back. No more, being on one of those roads in Kansas like Dorothy is. It's time that you go to, go to that roadside stand that she does in The Wizard of Oz, right? And she visits the guy with the magic ball, and she goes in, and that's when that tornado comes. So for some of you, wherever you're at on your journey, the tornado could be about to come in and you're about to land in Munchkin Land, right? Or you could already be there and you are, at a crossroads. I feel like you are remembering who you are in a big, profound way. You're remembering why you came here, your purpose. This is about you sharing your gifts with the world in a profound way. Now, what is the initiative that you are meant to take? Seven of Swords is being true to your path. Don't hold back. Don't lie. And what I mean by don't lie is fear. Fear is lies, false evidence appearing real. So don't let the fears hold you back, because those fears are lies. So you see what's happening there is it almost feels like there's some sort of fear that is falsifying your identity in some way, shape, or form. I don't feel like this is you lying to others, about who you are. If anything, it is about you needing to really step into this gift, this magic that you have, and share it and embrace it and embark upon this journey. And quite literally, the word bark, again, embark upon this. So if this is fear of ridicule or fear, or if you receive some sort of news, maybe it's maybe it's what someone says, or it could be a voice that maybe someone said many, many moons ago that scared you. Or it could be that voice that said, well, you can't make money doing that, or you're not really intuitive, or that was wrong. Some of you may have been told that you were wrong about a situation, and then you held back because you didn't want to be wrong, because facing that was too scary. Then that criticism in some way may have been too scary for you to open up again. But it's not that you are wrong. It's that you may have perceived it differently, or there could have been fears that may have masked it. But I feel like Spirit is saying, don't dim your light, or don't not show up due to criticism or fear or whatever was difficult to swallow here. Now, Seven of Swords, the Walrus and the Carpenter, your initiative energy here is to show up in your truth. Show up shaking if you must, but do it anyway. And I feel like there is a big reward here. And the reward is soul fulfillment. It is what your soul came here to fulfill and achieve. And not only are you going to get a taste of it in the afterlife and say, wow, right, I've accomplished what I've set out to accomplish, and this is magical, but you're going to get a taste of that in the material world as well. So what is your values? Where do your values lie? Now, there's been a lot of trickery. And now we're going to dive into why. And we see the Seven of Swords showing up. So part of this dishonesty or disloyalty is because it's been misplaced in your life many times. What that means is you haven't always had people in your life that have been honest, or they may not have been who you thought they were. They may have showed you a different side of them. Maybe you yourself have changed your behaviors, which we all do this from time to time. We shift our energy kind of like a chameleon. We change our colors to adapt to certain situations. But I feel for some of you, you may have been in some form of union with a family member, with a lover, with, a partnership, or someone where it may not have brought out your best traits. And every one of us have higher and lower vibrational traits. It's just, that's how it is, right? But you can love yourself through all of those traits, all of those archetypes, and you can heal yourself, right? You can take accountability and responsibility. And I feel like because there has been misplaced loyalties, betrayal, dishonesty, lies, cheating, stealing, sneaking, everything that the Seven of Swords represents, there's been an illusion that may have kept motives hidden, or kept some sort of motives at a distance. But the Magician showing up, Gemini, Virgo energy, and we are in Virgo season. Some of you may have been dealing with, or maybe you have these placements in your chart, but you're remembering that you are the Magician here. But it's showing up in reverse, meaning that your values have been manipulated in some way, shape, or form. So certain things that you grew up seeing, or certain ways that a relationship was handled, there may have been some sort of manipulation, or a huge factor that encroached upon a belief system. So again, another example is, I grew up in a very tumultuous household with a lot of violence, a lot of yelling, rage, alcoholism, everything, you name it. So that may have, it impacted, how I viewed love, how I viewed relationships, how I viewed stability. So as an adult, it was my responsibility to heal that and take a look at it from an angle where, we may have to unlearn those beliefs that were ingrained in us from many years ago. And for some of you, this could be childhood. It could be, again, past relationships that you've been in. It could be being admonished or ostracized from a job or from a family unit. But I feel like your values here are about you remembering that you are the creator of your life. Libra, you are the creator. And when the Magician shows up, you're a leader. And the Magician is also an excellent communicator. It's ruled by Mercury, right? And Mercury energy is the communicator. And I feel like you have excellent communication skills, being, an air sign, but also you have the gift of communication, and you're a storyteller. There's something here about being a storyteller, sharing your story, maybe being a coach, a mentor, a guide, or being able to communicate with others in a way that gets through to them. And when the Magician shows up, this is about you remembering that you have abilities, you have gifts, you have skills, and you have talent. This can also be an independent energy. Some of you had to fight for your independence, right? Some of you, like me, were an only child, and maybe you had to grow up at a young age. Maybe you had to take care of siblings, or you lost your youth in some way, shape, or form. And I feel like, yes, your values, your beliefs have been manipulated, twisted, and tainted. But now as an adult and as, a spiritual being on this human path, right? This journey, you have the ability to reprogram. You have the ability to see the truth, not the lies and the twistedness of it all. So what are the blocks? Whew, this is a big one, Libra. If you guys are liking this, or if it resonates, yes, it could be a hard pill to swallow, but you are a Libra. You'd much rather have the blunt truth than a sugar-coated piece of candy, right? And I feel like that's what this reading is. Now, the block is the Ten of Swords. It's been painful. There's been some sort of painful ending, some sort of betrayal, some sort of rock bottom that you've gone through that there's no coming back from. There's no coming back from. You will forever be changed because of it. But how are you going to live your life moving forward and not let life define you in a destructive way? But it's like the power of the mind. The swords is the mind. You are the mind. You're about thought and intellect and power. The power of the mind is profound. And the mind can either build or it can destroy. And yes, there's been a rock bottom. Yes, there's been massive endings that have occurred in your life. But I feel like it's how you pick up the pieces from some sort of destruction. And you may still be lingering on to old pain, old hurt, old resentments. The Ten of Swords is victimhood, denial, or even avoiding recovery. And some of you are saying, Mel, I don't have anything to recover from. Well, let me challenge you this, Libra. Do you still have tendencies of, perfectionism, people pleasing, enabling, codependency? Look at the devil. Look at the devil and ask yourself, what am I bonded to? What consumes my mind that is unhealthy? This could be scrolling on social media. It can be not managing our time effectively. It can be an overconsumption of, sugars or processed foods. It may be choosing unhealthy dynamics and patterns in our relationships. It could be how we attach ourselves, right? Looking into attachment styles could be significant here for you. So I feel like the devil is still a bit attached to the 10 of Swords, but the good news is what is being illuminated again is the Page of Pentacles here. So some sort of message, news, or even enlightenment, because that's what is being illuminated. Some sort of enlightenment is coming in order for you to put an end to a situation once and for all. And it means that we're going to continue to choose to move forward. So it's not like, oh, today I'm going to choose to not be a perfectionist, right? We have to continue making that healthy choice day in and day out. But it becomes routine, it becomes pattern, it becomes repetition. And that is how we reprogram the neuroplasticity in our brain that lead to different results. And that's what I see you doing here, Libra. This is big. This is really big. This is a breakthrough for you. And the final outcome, you actually have a bonus card. Not only do you have the bonus major arcana card in your reading, but you have a bonus outcome. You have the Queen of Pentacles as your outcome. Queen of Pentacles is represented as the Duchess. The Duchess here, I just love the mask, the face, right? So the Duchess is protecting, she's very nurturing. She is focused on, her financial well-being. When the Queen of Pentacles shows up, she works hard for her material wealth. She can be very frugal, very resourceful and traditional and very business savvy as well, but she's stable and she is secure with who she is. And that's your outcome. If you walk this path, if you walk this journey and you are courageous and brave enough to remember who you are, the skills that you have and the magic that is all around you, you have the opportunity to be very, and I don't say this often on my channel, but very rich. And it may not be just in the form of finances, which, yeah, the Queen of Pentacles, she can have a lot of money. She's very wealthy. But I feel like this is rich in resources. And those resources can be connections, family. It can be trustworthy friends. This can be, emotional wealth, and it can feel good because you are protecting yourself by setting healthy boundaries. And that's what the Queen of Pentacles does. Now, what happens here, Libra, if we continue to live in that devil energy and we hang on to this 10 of Swords like a loose tooth? Well, eventually that loose tooth is going to fall out, right? But it's going to constantly annoy us until it does. And I feel like you've been annoyed for long enough. And what I see with this Queen of Pentacles as well is some of you, it may be that protection has turned into control in some way, shape, or form. This may have to do with parenting. This may have to do with your money, your finances. This could be materialism. It can be overprotecting, but that overprotection turns into a form of dominance or control. And I feel like that may be part of what you're letting go of as well. It can be Queen of Pentacles can be someone who's not the best. I mean, I'm talking reverse here. She's not showing up in reverse for you, but I'm just saying that these could be little bits and pieces that show up from time to time that you're going to have to make that choice all over again to choose a new path, a healthier path. She may not be the best with money, or she can spend, be very elaborate with her spending. And Libra, you're ruled by Venus, right? We're ruled by Venus. We like nice things. We like the beautiful things in life. So I feel that you are the type of person, if you're going to spend your money, it's going to be on, a trip, or it's going to be on, something that makes you feel beautiful, and you're able to enjoy the finer things. And I feel like if you're not there yet, you will be. Okay. Queen of Pentacles, big boss energy. She works on building her, her kingdom, and she has the luxuries needed to not only build that kingdom, but to be able to share it with others, not in a controlling or domineering type of way. I mean, she loves that little piglet. That little pig is like her child. For some of you, maybe this has to do with infertility. This may have to do with adoption. It may have to do with loving children that may not be your own, or mending bridges between mother and daughter, or, family bridges here. Now, the bonus card that you have is the Nine of Pentacles. So there's a lot of material wealth here, a lot of financial abundance, and being able to stand on your own 2 feet. Okay, this is massive success. The Nine of Pentacles is creating a life that she loves. She is someone who is very self-sufficient, very independent, and her hard work is paying off. But sometimes, right, it can be my way or the highway, and maybe that's part of the devil. And she's not showing up in the reverse, but I have to mention some of the lower traits or qualities of some of these characters, which may represent you or other people that have conditioned or manipulated you to believe in certain things, right? Where that's what's being brought up. That's why you have the devil at the bottom of the deck. Now, sometimes she can be very stubborn, very independent, maybe even codependent at times. And the Nine of Pentacles as your bonus card is saying, work on your confidence. Be proud of who you are. You don't have to be dependent on others, but be open to receiving help. This can be open to learning. That's why you have this Page of Pentacles. Be open to curiosity and discovery, because you will be successful far beyond your wildest dreams, whatever that definition of success is for you, Libra. Beautiful. Let's get a final message here. Let's look at health too. I want to look at health. There's something around health, mental health, physical health. Okay. Wow. Yeah. Just be mindful, because we have the Temperance card and the devil at the bottom. Oh, wow. You guys, I didn't even pull the bottom 3. I pulled the bottom 2, which if you're familiar with my readings, I like to pull the bottom 3, but for whatever reason, it's like we went through your whole reading first. Look at what is at the bottom. The third one is your 10 of Pentacles. That's Emerald City. That is that completion. That's emotional, physical, financial fulfillment, right? Spiritual fulfillment. It's all of it. Like I said earlier, it's being at that point where when you go home, when you cross over, when you go to heaven, when that day comes, right? You will look back and say, I'm proud of my mission. I'm proud of what I've come through. But it's not just going to be, when that time comes, you're actually going to be living proof of that. It's like legacy. You're a living legend right now. It's not just getting a taste of it afterwards and not even being able to know, right? But you will, because you're spiritual and you're going to know how you've affected energies. But this is about you creating a legacy right here, right now, creating your heaven on earth. Libra, this is big. The messages coming in here from your guides, your spirit team, your ancestors, your loved ones. We have the great gathering. It's all coming together. Intuitive hits and soul tribe. Beautiful. Soul tribe energy. So that is part of that emotional fulfillment here. So the great gathering is coming together. I had to pause your video for a second there because the air kicked on. But your final message, Libra, is sisterhood of the rose, beauty and devotion. This is big Venus energy. And it says priestess, mystic, teacher. That is part of your mission, part of who you are with that witch energy and this new chapter, priestess, mystic, teacher. And you are here because you are meant to be here and you have gifts. You are protected as you embark upon this journey. So trust in yourself. Trust that you have this innate wisdom that you can tap into at any time. And there's something very, very big coming together that you are meant to be a part of. You are currently a part of. So the great gathering and the sisterhood of the rose. That is what I have for you, Libra. I hope it resonates. If so, oh, 1 second here. Spirit is saying, go back to health. Go back to health. Because that's where we were at here before I see in the 10 of Pentacles. Some of you need to hear a message around health. I'm getting kidney stones. There's something with maybe the solar plexus, sacral chakra. This could be moderation, doing things in moderation, or be mindful of, what you're putting into your body. I also see pumpkin in the background. So some of you may be eating pumpkins, or pumpkin can be very beneficial. That's also solar plexus and sacral chakra. So pumpkin, and I also see it looks like apples or maybe even cherry tomatoes here. So red, yellow, and orange vegetables, colors, crystals. You may be working with the bottom 3 chakras, the roots, the base, the second sacral, and the third solar plexus. And I'm also getting with this devil energy. It is liberating yourself, freeing yourself. And that's what the kidneys do, right? They're our detoxification system. So I feel like some of you may even be thinking about going on a detox or flushing out the kidneys or the liver. There's something with the liver here. And again, pumpkin. Maybe that's a nickname. Maybe someone calls you pumpkin. Or perhaps, going into the autumn season, you really enjoy the smell of pumpkin candles. So take that as it resonates. But that is what I have for you, Libra. I hope this was beneficial, helpful, and inspirational. If so, please hit that thumbs up button. Feel free to share, like, subscribe, and hit that bell if you haven't already. Lots of love.